What's up, my fellow Toku nerds and fellow Skylander nerds? My name is Jacob Haugen, aka Kamen Skylander, and I'm here to talk about, well, what or who is Kamen Skylander? Let's begin. So, where did the idea of Kamen Skylander came from? Well, it didn't start off to be a Kamen in the first place. It started to be more of a Power Rangers team in Skylanders. You know, red fire, blue water, green life. You kind of know the gist if you know the games. So, what changed? Well, freshman year is when I started to get into the Toku community more. Watch more videos, watch a lot of theme songs. Some of the theme songs are good. And eventually in my senior year, that's when I was dive in, full into it. I was like, I had that thought of, well, if I made a Kamen Rider Skylander. So eventually the idea grew and grew until I eventually decided to actually draw it up. So here it is. The first design of Kamen Rider Skylander. Now, it's not bad. It's not bad. The original design aspect of it was supposed to be a fusion between an Ultraman and a main Kamen Rider. So, for example, this one was supposed to be a fusion of Ultraman Blazar and Kamen Rider Saber. So, I mean, it turned out fine. I just felt like I could do better. So I was trying to come up different ways of improving it. It wasn't until recently, with the current airing Sentai, No More on Sentai Gozuger, I decided, these are really good suits. Maybe I can implement them into my Kamen Rider designs. So that's what I did. Here we go. And this is a really good suit, in my opinion. Having the white and the black be accent colors, and the gold just makes the whole suit pop. It looks really good. And the motif of each element has an animal, like Fire Wolf, War Shark, Life Rukon, Earth Tyranno, so on. Every element matches up with the animal that I chose specifically for this element. And it looks really good so far. And it's definitely something I would love to make in real life. If there's anyone out there that knows how to make 3D printed original Kamen Rider suits, please reach out to me. I would love to work together and try to come up and try to make these suits real life. So that's basically all I got. So what next question is, what is the lore behind Kamen Rider Skylander? Well, everyone knows the games. All 6 games. So it's genuinely the same, but here's a twist. Skylands is its own world in a different dimension. The only way to access it is through playing the games. So every time a player, that feeling when you're playing a game that you love and you just kind of get locked in, lose track of time and all that jazz? Apply that logic, but tenfold. You're literally going into Skylanders as a version of a Kamen Rider. What do I mean by that? So, name off your favorite Skylander. Me personally, it'll probably be Eruptor. So, I'll just say I'm playing the game as Eruptor. I get locked in, and I get sucked into the game, and I end up being a Kamen Rider version of Eruptor. that's a really cool idea, and I think that'll add like some cool lore to that. Like each player has its own Kamen form. But here's the thing. They're not actually Kamen. They're just a version. So, the last Skylander game was in 2016 with Skylanders Imagineers. Throughout the times that there hasn't been a new game, the barrier between Skylands and the real world is starting to weak. So Eon in Skylands finds someone who has a strong connection currently with Skylanders, and they have them be the Kamen Skylander. But they don't use a Skylander. Instead, they use Imaginates. Meaning, they get to look however they want to look, essentially. That's what the Imaginite is supposed to do. But it's also the power source of the element and the battle class. So, fire, for example, since base form and all. So, fire element, and then it is the night class. So, kind of basic for the main suit, which is completely fine, nothing wrong about it. It definitely has that element of it will evolve over time. So, Eon sets out to find this person. Once they do, they become Kamen Skylander, which is able to cross between the real world and Skylander world with ease, no problem whatsoever. Don't need to play the game, just one thought, boom, he's in Skylands, no problem. And now he has to play the game while trying to defend the real world from chaos monsters that he may eventually send out to the real world. That's the whole idea. And obviously, it'll play out like the games, but in like Kamen Rider style, film style. You know, the more I think about it, the more I was like, I would love to create a second YouTube channel, mainly focusing on the story of Kamen Skylander itself. Like, create a whole series about it. And, you know, if there are people out there that would love to see this project come to life, please reach out to me. I would love to work with you guys. This is strictly volunteer work, and it's probably not going to happen for a while, but if there are people that be willing to check out or willing to help me create this into real life, I'd be forever grateful. So that's the whole stick of Kamen Skylander. Not much to it. So that's gonna be it for the video, to be honest. I wasn't sure how long this video was gonna be because, you know, Kamen Skylander has been a personal project for mine for years, and I just wanted to share my creativity with you guys. So, with that being said, if you ever want to check out my other videos, let me know. I'm also going to change a few things. So, if you have not watched the first video, check it out first to understand what I'm going to talk about next. So, originally I wanted to do 1,000 likes for the Kamen Zets video to continue going. That is a lot to ask for you guys on the first go around. So, we're just going to dial that down to at least 50 likes. 50 likes on the Zets video. I'll continue to cover Kamen Zets. For subscribers, if you guys want me to do a Q&A, I would happily do that. Just let me know in the comments and follow me on Facebook So that way you can send your questions to me and I can write them all down so that I'm not scrolling through a whole bunch of people and repeating the same questions multiple times. I would love to continue this channel with you guys, and I would love to continue this journey. You know, I've always wanted to share my thoughts out. I've just been scared of how people thought, just because the way I speak sometimes gets a little stumbled, and I'm literally doing this off script. So, what you see is what you get. And what you have is a guy that loves Toku, Skylanders, movies, anything superhero related, and has autism. So, if you were wondering why I'm stuttering or having trouble speaking once in a while, that's why. It's just a work I have to deal with for most of my life. But I'm not ashamed of it. And in fact, I feel more confident doing these videos more than what I did back in freshman year. So, there you have it. I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, take care.